The security guard's name was Paul. He had worked the front entrance of Mercy General Hospital in Portland, Oregon, for 11 years. He had seen many things at that entrance. He had never seen anything like this. The dog arrived on a Tuesday morning. He simply walked up to the entrance, sat down beside the automatic doors, and stayed. James woke up 22 hours after the accident. He did not know where he was. He did not know what had happened. He did not know his own name. The nurse said, "James, James, can you hear me?" He looked at her. He said, "Who's James?" James was 44 years old, a landscape architect from Portland. He had designed parks, community gardens, the green spaces between buildings where people sit, without knowing someone thought carefully about where they would want to sit. He was good at noticing things. He had noticed, 6 years ago, a brindled dog sitting outside a shelter in the rain. Not crying, not whimpering, just sitting, with the particular patience of an animal that has decided to wait for the right thing. James had gone inside and filled out the adoption paperwork before he had finished deciding to. He named the dog Buddy, the most honest name he could think of. He was not a dog James had. He was a life James and Buddy shared. James had introduced Buddy to every girlfriend, every client, every friend. Everyone who mattered in James's life had met Buddy first. The accident happened on a Tuesday morning in March. James was driving to a site visit. A delivery truck ran a red light on Morrison Street. The impact was on the driver's side. James was unconscious when the paramedics arrived. He was alive. Buddy was in the passenger seat. He was unhurt. Buddy watched them load James into the ambulance. He watched the ambulance doors close. He watched it drive away. Then he followed it. Not at a run, at a steady trot. A brindle dog, trotting through Portland traffic, following an ambulance. He lost it at the first red light. He kept going in the same direction. He found the hospital 40 minutes later. He sat down at the entrance. He began to wait. Day 1. He sat at the entrance from 6 in the morning until the security guard made him move at 10 p.m. Day 2. He was back at the entrance before 6. He was not barking. He was not aggressive. He was not begging from people who passed. He was simply watching the door. Every time the automatic doors opened, Buddy's body came slightly forward. Every time the person who emerged was not James, he settled back. He did this hundreds of times a day. Paul left water on the second day. On the third day, he left food. He told his supervisor, "There is a dog at the entrance." His supervisor said, "Call animal control." Paul did not call animal control. He left more food. There was a photograph on his phone of a brindle dog sitting in the passenger seat of a truck. The dog was looking at the camera. The dog looked happy. James looked at the photograph for a long time. He felt something, not memory, something beneath memory, something that memory is built on top of. He did not know what it was. He kept the phone face up on his bedside table. On the 6th day, Buddy stopped eating. Not sick, not injured. He simply stopped eating, Paul noticed. He sat beside the dog for his entire lunch break. He said, "I don't know what you're waiting for," he said, "but I hope it comes." Buddy's amber eyes were on the door. They were always on the door. Carter was 51 years old. He was a contractor who had worked with James on 3 projects over the past 4 years. Not a close friend, an acquaintance. The kind of person you have coffee with at a job site and call by first name, and whose dog you have met On the morning of the 8th day, Carter came to Mercy General for a routine blood test. He stopped. There was a dog sitting beside the automatic doors. A brindled dog, medium large, white blaze on the chest, amber eyes. Carter stood very still on the hospital path. He said, out loud, to nobody, "That's Buddy." Carter crouched down in front of Buddy. Buddy's amber eyes moved to him. There was a flicker, not recognition exactly. Something. Carter said, "Hey, Buddy, what are you doing here, boy?" Buddy's tail moved. Once. Slowly. The first time his tail had moved in 8 days. Carter said, "I know that dog. His name is Buddy. He belongs to a man named James." He pulled out his phone. He called James's number. It rang. From somewhere inside the hospital, a phone rang. The phone on James's bedside table rang. He looked at it. The screen showed a name, Carter. He did not know who Carter was. He answered anyway. He said, "Hello?" Carter said, "James, is that you? Are you in the hospital?" Carter said, "James, your dog is outside." James said, "My dog?" Carter said, "Buddy. He's been sitting at the hospital entrance for 8 days." Silence. James looked at his bedside table, at the photograph of the brindled dog in the passenger seat. He said, "The dog in the photograph." Carter said, "Yes, that's Buddy. He's been waiting for you." James said, "Can you bring him to me?" Carter walked Buddy through the main entrance of Mercy General Hospital. Buddy walked beside him, not pulling, not distracted, his amber eyes forward, his nose working. He was reading the hospital, its smells, its sounds, its particular air. He was looking for something specific in all of it. Buddy's nose went up. His whole body changed. He had found it. Carter opened the door. Buddy walked in. He crossed the room in 4 steps. He put his front paws on the bed. He pushed his face against James's face. James's hands came up automatically, not from memory, from something older than memory, and went into the brindle fur. He held the dog. He didn't know why. He held him anyway. James's face was in Buddy's fur. He said, "I don't remember you." His voice broke on it. He said, "I don't remember you, and I don't want to let go." Buddy made a sound, not a bark, a sound from somewhere deeper than barking. 8 days of waiting, released in one sound. James's memory returned, not all at once, in pieces, over weeks, like a photograph developing. The early memories came first. Buddy came back in pieces too, not as a name at first, as a feeling. The feeling of a warm weight at the foot of a bed. The feeling of a dog in the passenger seat. The feeling of coming home to something that was always glad you did. James left the hospital on a Tuesday. Buddy was at the entrance. James walked through the automatic doors. Buddy saw him. He did not run. He had been still for 8 days. He stood up. His tail moved. His whole body moved with it. James crouched down on the hospital path. Buddy walked to him. Not ran. Walked. As if this was exactly what he had been waiting for, and there was no need to hurry now that it was here. James put his arms around him. He said, "I remember you." He said, "I remember everything." Buddy pressed against him. He had known this was coming. He had known it for 8 days. He had simply waited for James to know it too. He had simply waited for James to know it too. If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Subscribe to Bound to Survive. A new story every week.